Hello everybody. So, this is still the same day that I'm recording this, but I had it scheduled to go up the following day, so... But anyways, that doesn't really matter, I guess. I'm going to do my own reaction to this video because I felt so mad at this guy, and now 2 people have already reacted to this particular video. So I have it sped up because he's talking. I skipped the intro for the most part. I skipped the part where he goes, "We've been deceived, eh?" You know, I skipped that part. But anyway, let's just get right into this. Here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO organic acid stool test and consult via my website.
Because vegans are all going to get some sort of digestive problem eventually. Whether it's minor or quite severe, yeah, vegans are going to. And you, my friend, I'm sure, have the same problem. Yeah.
So if you have any health or
by the way, you should enjoy it because you're gonna need some kind of wake-up call after what you did to this woman here, because karma is a jerk and you're dealing with it already, buddy, and you don't even know.
Digestive problems, and consider taking these tests as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video.
An actual healthy diet should not even be causing digestive issues in the first place. Meat never did that. Go and look into the Messiah. I'm pretty sure most of their diet anyway is meat, right? Look into that. Do they have digestive issues when they're eating meat, milk, and blood? Yes, they eat blood, vegans.
On June 24th, 2022, I was a type 2 diabetic. I weighed 360 pounds. I was unable to walk without a walker more than 100 feet at a time.
That certainly sounds...
Can I just stop you right there, Mr. Googly man? I say googly because I feel like googly sometimes also could mean like you're full of, well, baloney man, I should call him, because he's full of vegan baloney. Do they make vegan bologna? I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, that is amazing. It's amazing how a diet can take you from being unable to walk, okay, to being able to walk. Like it's just a diet. You think veganism can do that? Maybe in the beginning stages, I guess, but she'll just keep getting better from here. I guarantee you that. So I know what you're about to say, Goju Man, because I've seen this through other people. This is a bad start to your statement, by the way, saying. Let me just go back because I paused when he was in the middle of his statement.
360 pounds. I was unable to walk without a walker more than 100 feet at a time.
That certainly sounds awful. I wonder if we will get the full truth as to why she was in that position.
I wonder if we will get the full truth as to why she was in that position. Of course we will. She was eating carbs, and we know how carbs are.
I had 3 autoimmune diseases, and I had severe depression and anxiety. Here is a picture of me at the start.
Again, it sounds lousy. Statistically speaking, an overweight person has twice the odds of dealing with mental health issues compared to a person of normal weight.
I mean, I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything because I don't know. Because it depends on the person and epigenetics. But certainly anyone who's overweight is not healthy. Definitely. And also somebody who's underweight isn't healthy either. Okay? Right? Am I wrong? If you're underweight, you're unhealthy. If you're overweight, you're also unhealthy. There should be an in-between. Okay? Okay, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, Goji Man, maybe you should be, I don't know, a little bit more, kind to people? I thought that's what veganism was supposed to be, huh?
My health and my weight were spiraling out of control. I was binge eating. I was eating every emotion that I had. This ended up landing me in the emergency room where I thought I was dying.
Okay.
Okay. Let me stop there, because the reason I went carnivore was different than why she went carnivore. I went carnivore because of malnourishment, fatigue, depression, stress, anxiety attacks, panic attacks. There was anxiety a little bit, but it was mostly panic attacks. Actually, I could have been diagnosed with panic disorder had I been truly diagnosed at all. I'm pretty sure I had the beginnings of panic disorder. Pretty sure. And I decided to skip the diagnosis and go carnivore, so that I'd never have to get the diagnosis anymore. Because I thought, if this handles anxiety, this might handle panic attacks as well. But at the time, I thought they were both kind of the same, so I called them anxiety attacks, but they weren't. Anyways, I wasn't able to binge eat. Not really, because I didn't have the same mental feelings. Like, when I wasn't feeling hungry, I was like, Sometimes it was like a craving, I guess, but not a lot of the time. And my stomach was so sensitive that I could feel when I was getting full. I really could. And so, like, even eating specific types of carbs would make me full. Now, when I was little, I didn't have that same drive, and there would be a couple times I would eat till I got sick. But most of the time, I knew when it was too much. I knew that. I could feel it. I don't know what the difference is with me, and how. Maybe it was just because I was so malnourished that everything just felt like too much. Maybe that's why when I would eat before, I just get sick, rather than eat till I felt. Because anemia does it dampens your appetite. But then even when I got the iron part treated, it could have been too that I was still deficient in other things. But I couldn't fully, like, I felt like if I didn't try and take at least some control of my appetite, I would be binge eating again and probably getting sick again. I don't know. I never let myself get to that point.
The first piece of information there, she couldn't control her weight due to binge eating, and eating disorders like this tend to be fairly low in general populations. It is estimated that between 0.
What do you mean fairly low in general populations? Look at your own country, vegan baloney man. Look at your own country. Your country has one of the highest rates of obesity. Hello.
0.9 and 3% of people suffer with these types of eating disorders in Western populations, and this has been steadily increasing over the last 2 decades.
This put me at the precipice of deciding, am I going to live life, or am I literally just going to lay down and die and suffer until I do?
It's a logical question for sure, but I'm curious why it took a weight increase to that extent before she started to think about her lifestyle.
Shouldn't you say, what a revolution? I'm so happy that she doesn't feel like she wants to just lay down and die without the tea anymore. Tell me that. That's gonna be my new thing. Die without the tea. You guys. Do you want to go on the proper human diet? Or do you want to die without the tea? Which? Because that wouldn't be fun, would it? The second option. At least the symptoms you get when you first go on the proper human diet, or move to the proper human diet, not go on. Because going on it sounds like you're going on a program. I think we should call weight loss diets, like Weight Watchers, all that, we should call them programs, not diets. Okay? Weight loss programs. Because they are programs. Why else would you have coaches and stuff like that? It's a program. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Now, binge eating disorders are a complex subject with many things and problems that contribute towards their existence, and I'm certainly not for 1 minute saying that it's easy to beat this problem. You will have heard me say before when talking about people like Amberlynn Reid that binge eating disorders are like alcoholism. Nobody is saying it is easy. But there also has to be a point where a person acknowledges they put themselves into that situation, and at any point they could have stopped the problem long before it got to such a serious level.
Yeah, very, very supportive. Very supportive. Honestly, though, I didn't know, sorry about the notification, you guys. I didn't know that I was getting sick. I didn't know I had a problem. You gonna trash me because I didn't know I was malnourished? Everybody in the freaking world is sick with something because of what we are told is healthy. And look at the meat eating populations. How much meat are they actually eating, and what are they eating it with? Like I said in my last video, look at what you're eating. Look at what you ate back when you were vegan. Goji baloney man. Okay? You should call yourself the vegan baloney man, because you're full of vegan baloney.
This is me after university, where I was eating awfully and drinking a lot of alcohol. I put on a lot of weight very quickly, and at every step of the process I knew that my weight gain was caused by me and me alone.
I think she already did know that. Okay? I think she already did know that. I think she figured that much out. Okay? But, you know what a diet shouldn't need? The proper diet? If you're eating the proper diet, you shouldn't need coaches. You shouldn't need doctors and stuff. You shouldn't need all that to keep you going. Coaches should be temporary, and then the diet should be easy to continue with. You shouldn't constantly need coaches and food delivered and all this stuff, because then it's not the proper diet anymore. You shouldn't need to go to a special website and buy these specific foods. No, that's a program. You're on a program. You're not on a diet. You're not doing a diet. You're doing a program. Doing a diet means you are eating what you have to eat. Vegan. There's so many vegan coaches, and you have to constantly be with them to try and help you figure out, okay, what do I do? Like, keto coaches, I'm pretty sure are temporary until, like, they're for the beginners, because we don't know what we're doing yet. We don't know. There's people out there still drinking milk thinking it's keto. Milk is not keto. Okay? And if you're out here drinking milk, you're not keto. Not that, I'm bashing you per se, but you need to know that, because that has carbs, and carbs make you gain a lot of weight. You already figured that much. Drinking milk every day isn't going to help you. Okay? It's not. But anyways, so the proper human diet is a meat-based diet. Like I said in my other video, we should be calling what we're supposed to and what we're meant to eat a diet. We should call those other things are programs.
Society didn't deceive me or lie to me. Politicians or health organisations didn't put the food and alcohol in my mouth. Most people aren't stupid.
I mean, I guess not. But they enjoy watching you guys. Fill yourselves with it.
Deep down, and they know that eating a lot of processed refined foods will put you in a situation that will compromise your health.
And what is a vegan diet, you might ask? A processed refined diet. Program, rather. Oh, I mean, I guess it is a diet if it's more than 10 years, but, like, I don't even think that's not the proper human diet. Humans don't live on a vegan diet. We don't live and thrive on a vegan diet, so we don't live on vegetarian diets very well either, so sorry.
Now, I don't know if this woman is going to do this, but I hope she doesn't play the victim card when talking about her health status.
And the choice I made was to live, to stop wallowing in the depression that I was in.
I think the reason you're acting this way, Baloney Man, is because vegan Baloney Man, I should say, because, dude, if you were eating real bologna, you'd probably be a lot better off. But anyway, as a start. Anyways, my point is, if you were eating the proper diet, I think the reason you're so butthurt is because she's doing better health-wise than you are. You're probably not sleeping good. Your digestion's probably not the best. You're just overall miserable. I'm sure she looks way happier in comparison to how you feel. Huh? And your little ego's hurt, isn't it? Dude, when I talk about this stuff, it's not about my feelings here. I feel strongly about it, but it's not about my feelings. At the end of the day, it's about human biology. So, me, 1, you, 0.
After I got out of the emergency room, I came home, I was eating cake literally one day, and I jumped right into carnivore the next.
Okay, so that is very interesting. She's going from one extreme to another, and this is very typical with eating disorders. And
Vegan diets are an extreme? Oh no, but you can have chocolate. You know what you are restricting though? You're restricting minerals. You're restricting micronutrients. Yeah. You are, and you're restricting protein. Restriction means you're restricting what is needed for your body. Okay? Veganism is quite extreme in that it restricts the very thing that makes you healthy. Look at how much meat you were eating before, Goji Baloney Man. I wonder if they could make vegan bologna out of goji berries. I had a funny image because they try to make friggin'... Dude, I have to try and find that video again, but... They keep trying to make things taste like beef and stuff, and it's like, dude... For all I know, they're probably trying to make bologna out of goji berries. I don't even know what goji berries taste like. It probably wouldn't taste very good. But bologna's quite sweet. Maybe if goji berries are sweet. Anyways, I know that's not going to benefit them. I don't care. I'm just talking about it. Goji Man, you're awful. You are awful.
we've seen this a lot in the vegan community, where people really restrict foods to get some level of control.
So here's what's happened over the past 227 days doing the carnivore diet.
Before she lists these, I think that most people should be more concerned about health over a lifetime and not just a few hundred.
What about your health? How's your health been since you've been on the vegan diet? How is it now? How's it now? I'm sure you've been, on this diet for several years now. Really though, how is your health? How are you feeling mentally? How? Or are you cheating and not telling anybody? Because if you're cheating, screw you. You're not even doing it right. Okay? You're not doing it right. You can't cheat. You can't be healthy and happy. That's not what the vegan diet is supposed to be. Look up the 7-day Adventists. Look them up. And watch my video. Vegans, this is important. That's what the video is called. Vegans, this is important. Watch that video, vegans.
100 days. I could do a lot of cocaine for 200 days and lose a lot of weight, but what would it do over the longer term?
That's not even the same comparison, you dipstick.
I do want to clarify though, when I say carnivore diet, this for me includes beef, butter, chicken, eggs, fish, any kind of meat, honestly, and cheese.
There you go. Yeah. Her 1, you 0.
It was like she was saying that she could only do it if she had something nice to enjoy, so cheese.
What is with these people twisting words? Why do these people do this? Why do narcissists do this? Why do they twist words? Like, that's not going to make me feel bad because guess what? I know that what I'm doing is helping me. But am I going to sit there and twist the words around? Maybe on the rare occasion I might reframe it. You're butthurt, Goji man, that she's doing a lot better than you are. Come on.
As of now, my 8-month journey, I only eat OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. Here is a sampling of what I eat. I have things like baby back ribs. I eat ribeyes with butter on them. I have hamburgers with cheese. Obviously, no buns.
That's a lot of restrictions there.
A lot of restrictions? She sounds like she's really enjoying it to me. She's not restricting anything. She's not restricting fat, protein, or vitamins and minerals. What are you restricting? Oh, everything. You're restricting everything because the vegan diet is a starvation diet. It's not the proper human diet. You're eating cow food, bird food, and rabbit food. And probably deer food. Deer love all kinds of different things. Now the whole soy thing, that's just industrial junk. That's not even food. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. I don't care, Asians. I said what I said.
OMAD can certainly work for many people to lose weight, but again, I'm not concerned by weight loss in the short term. I'm more concerned about weight and health over the longer term and whether a diet is sustainable to follow.
Well, I'm sure if she gets her weight issue checked, she's going to figure out, if she does start gaining weight in the future, she's going to be like, I have hypothyroid or something like that. But she's going to take the medication and keep doing carnivore because she knows that if she keeps if she goes back to her old ways, she will gain the weight back faster. Okay, cool. Glad we got that sorted out, okay? By the way, Dipstick, I'm talking to you like this because I think someone else needs to also react to this. So, yeah. And Amanda, if you find this video, girl, keep doing you.
I bet my house on the fact that 10 years from now, this won't be her diet and she'll be struggling with another diet of some description.
The only other carnivore I know of that has actually struggled and gone off the deep end, the only other carnivore that I know of is actually two of them. There's two of them. Paul Saladino and Frank Tufano. Okay? Those are the only two that I know of for a fact. Oh, and Sarah Yogi or whatever her name is. And wait. There's not as many people quitting carnivore. That's all I'm going to say. There's not as many people quitting carnivore as there are people quitting veganism. So you're projecting again because you're butthurt. You are very butthurt and you really wish that she would just quit carnivore. Don't you? You wish she would quit carnivore so that she could prove you right. But she won't. And you're butthurt.
Because the diet is not the issue here, it's the psychological elements that are underpinning these weight issues for her.
No. The thing is, the diet she was eating was depriving her brain, so she wasn't able to make those informed decisions. When you eat a lot of brain-healthy fats, butter, tallow, maybe a little lard, you give the brain what it needs to actually make the proper decisions. I am so sorry yet again, guys. Forgot to turn that thing on again. The do not disturb.
Now, the reason I only eat once a day is because I'm so satiated when I eat, I'm not hungry any other time.
That right there, you should have been like, really? Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't think meat could do that. But no, you gloss right over that one, don't you? Dipstick.
This also has helped streamline the process of my body being able to utilize my own fat stores for energy. So no wonder I only have to eat once a day. I have plenty of energy stored on me to go through my day.
Yes, correct. Stores of energy, but not stores of nutrition.
Of course it's stores of nutrition, you dipstick. Do you know what meat has that the vegan diet does not? Heme iron, much more absorbable. Protein that's much more available. Actual fat-soluble vitamins. Actual digestible components. Like, we are enzyme producing organisms. We digest through enzymes and acid. We don't digest very well with bacteria. We have a very, very tiny system for that. And it really doesn't work all that well, especially if you bombard it. So what nutrition is she not getting? Back up your stupid claim or checkmate.
And a few hundred days of calorie restriction and nutrient depletion are not a good footing for any diet.
What nutrient depletion? Your ego's hurt. That's all it is.
So here's some of the questions I want to address about my past 8 months of my journey. Why I do carnivore, how I stick to carnivore, what's happened specifically around my health and weight, and would carnivore benefit you? I know a lot of people ask me,
Oh, carnivore definitely would benefit this dude.
why carnivore? Why not something else? Well, my first response is, I am a binge eater. I have binge eaten for my entire adult life. I lack the ability to moderate myself.
I applaud that level of honesty there.
And 99% diets are requiring moderation. But I don't have that in me. One cookie turns into a bag of cookies, which then turns into a binge. I didn't get to 360 pounds because I was good at moderating. As I said, most diets require you have the ability to moderate yourself. A good example I like to use is an alcoholic doesn't drink just a little bit of alcohol, they go crazy. What do? They abstain from the alcohol. I am a sugar carb addict. I cannot have it or I binge. So what do? I abstain from it by doing carnivore.
Let me stop him right there. Now, nutrition talk from a former fat girl, mad respect. This was where she said, I don't agree that you have to abstain. But like I said, she realized that her brain was early on, right? Her brain wasn't fully developed, I guess, in terms of being able to make that decision. Should I just, eat and then go all out, or because that's what's going to happen if I try to moderate this. Should I just forget I even went here, or should I moderate to keep, that's where I think, or should I abstain to keep myself away from it? I think abstaining was a better option for her because she had, that's what I did. And I even left a comment on her. She knows that. But, yeah, I think abstaining, especially in the beginning, when you know your brain isn't fully capable yet of fully figuring yourself out, knowing what, knowing what to do. It'll get there, I'm sure. It'll get there. Look, I go a little crazy on Christmas sometimes. Crazy enough that I get anxiety at nighttime. So I don't completely eat my original diet when I eat carbs. But I eat a lot more carbs than I would prefer to. I do eventually start having that, drive. I don't know how to hold back. And I don't think I'm quite healed in that regard yet. I don't know how to, just have that one and be okay. You know what I mean?
Again, just like I was saying earlier, food in general is the issue for people with binge eating conditions, so I'm happy for this woman that she is currently losing weight. But I am not concerned by quick fixes, I'm interested in long-term sustainable health.
There will be long-term sustainable health, you know why? You know why? Little ego man. Maybe ego man might be a better name for you, because all you live on is your ego. Live by is your ego. It's the proper human diet. We've been eating it for 250 plus thousand years. 2 million years, actually, since the dawn of time. Not sorry, checkmate again.
No doubt that this woman has tried every diet imaginable, and this is just another cycle trying to fix these issues. Let's see where she's at in 10 years without fixing the psychological elements underpinning all of it.
I bet you she'll be a skinny legend. Woo! A proper skinny legend, by the way. Not an anorexic freak-looking person.
This.
What's happened in the past 227 days is amazing. I was a type 2 diabetic. I did not have to take insulin. I was just taking oral medications. As of right now, I have reversed my type 2 diabetes. I have no issues controlling my blood sugars. I've had a handful of off-carnivore meals over the past few months, and I have 0 blood sugar spikes. My blood sugar is actually better than my husband, who is slender and does carnivore with me. My weight, I was, as we know now, 360 pounds. Today is my 8 months anniversary. I have officially lost 100 pounds in 8 months.
That amount of loss should be applauded, but again, let's talk about the
But again, ego man. Ah, there should be no but there. There should just be amazing. I'm so proud for you. Happy for you. You jerk. Dipstick and a Weasley excuse of a nutritionist. Weasley? Horrible excuse for a nutritionist. Let's just say that.
sustainability of weight loss over the next 2 decades and beyond.
This is huge, not just for the number, but if you go back and watch my original videos, I am miserable, isolated, depressed. My poor husband had to listen to me every night just talk about how bad I felt. That doesn't happen anymore. I wanted to hide myself. I was ashamed. I felt terrible. I'm a completely different person today, not only physically, but mentally. And along those lines, I was 32 years old having to use a rollator walker because I just couldn't make it around. My back hurt, my legs were weak. I was making it up one flight of stairs short of breath. I can now walk 5 miles in one day.
Again, that is all great, but if she only ate potatoes
But. Your ego is hurt.
or bananas, then she would have lost a lot of weight.
No, she would not have. Look up the Raw Till 4 testimonies, the actual true testimonies, the people that have tried it. Look at them all. They all said that they gained a bunch of weight. A good portion of them anyway. So, fail again. Fail again, you poor excuse for a nutritionist. You dipstick of a person. You literally are a dipstick, and I'm sure you smell like one too.
But no healthy civilizations on the planet have ever thrived when they are restricting it so much.
5 miles in one day without a walker.
The 5 miles in one day without a walker. No one claps. There's no woo. Then I'm gonna do it. Woo! Goji man, I'm sure you smell like poo, and here's why. The reason I call you a dipstick and say you smell like one is because vegans aren't detoxing properly. The body, you're taking in so much toxins, and you have such bad leaky gut that that poo particles are actually able to leak into the bloodstream. Beautiful, isn't it? I wonder how they test for that. Because, like leaky gut? I bet you smell horrible. I bet you everybody has to stand 20 feet away from you. And then even then, they're like, oh, what is that stench? What is that awful smell that comes off of you? What is that?
In 8 months. Another big thing for me is I have been depressed most of my life. I have been on so many antidepressants, on, off, you name it.
And I just want to say, the antidepressants, that's part of the reason I didn't take them. Because I knew antidepressants could also have the potential to make me gain weight. And though I want to gain weight, I want to gain it in a healthy way. So no, I'm not going to take a drug just as an excuse to help me gain weight. Plus, it'll mess with my brain and make me want to end my, you know what, because if I stop them cold turkey, that is what will happen. I don't want to have to start a drug just to be told, no, we should take it for a couple years, depending on how much I'm on. We should take it for a couple years to be sure to be sure that you don't have any harsh side effects.
I now have cut my antidepressants in half, and where we live in the Pacific Northwest, it's cloudy all the time. This is a time when most people have problems. I am doing so well. I am weaning myself off, and hopefully in the next few months can get completely off my antidepressants. Considering I'm 33 now, I've literally been on them since I was 12 years old. To be able to get off of the medication will be amazing.
That's amazing. And I feel like she probably wouldn't have had quite as much of an issue with binge eating, but some people still do. You know, all these obese people, there is something in common. They have tons of medications already, and I think they're just adding to the problem by, like, because some of the side effects is weight gain, right? So they eat more and more and more and more and more because it messes with the insulin and all that other stuff. So, but that in itself is amazing that she was able to cut it in half. And this man here isn't going to applaud nothing.
I would be saying the same thing if she was vegan here. Diets and such restrictions aren't miraculous cures.
Vegan means suicide diet.
Humans love the path of least resistance, and I'm sure that she went into every other diet that she tried with such enthusiasm. But this certainly does appear that the diet is easier for her to maintain due to the restrictions. But what is she going to do when she loses the weight?
See, there's always a catch with you, dipstick.
And the psychological elements of her brain that haven't been dealt with kick in, and then she starts to struggle with this diet.
No, because by a certain point, her brain is going to be like, oh, I have enough fat now that I can form that decision and be like, maybe I should hold back now. I should probably, I'm not going to have that next piece. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have another piece of cake. If I do, I'm going to end up in the, no more. I'm good. Thank you.
Without sounding like a broken record, let's look at her situation in 10 years.
I have 3 autoimmune issues. I have RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, and fibromyalgia. It had gotten to the point where moving hurt, any going up the stairs, my hands were really painful. Literally the wind blowing on my arm hurt. It just became painful to live. Now, that is 95% better. I've been able to go back to my hobbies like leather working and just exercising.
Leather working. Oh, I bet you hate that, don't you, little ego man?
Doing things I want to do because it doesn't limit me anymore. My inflammation is so much less in my body. I am only at my halfway mark. Right now, I still have another 100 pounds to lose. But if my life looks this amazing now, I can't imagine what the next 100 pounds is going to be like.
True, but the thing we know about diets is that they generally don't work.
Oh, like the vegan diet?
The vast majority of people that diet and restrict eventually put the weight back on because the diet has not addressed the reasons they were overeating.
Like the vegan diet?
And restrictions are not where the body runs optimally.
Like the vegan diet?
A few other small but really big things. I don't snore anymore. I sleep better. I focus better. I'm not grumpy. And a big thing, this is more around blood sugars. I don't have those crashes. If I don't eat every 3 or 4 hours, I feel like I'm going to faint.
The vegan diet does. Doesn't it, little ego man?
I can go 24 hours without a drop of food and not feel bad at all. The only reason I know to eat now is because my stomach grumbles every 24 hours and says to feed me. But other than that, I don't have to worry about going and getting fast food or snacks or anything like that. The burden, honestly, I think this is the biggest one. The burden of thinking about food. When you have an eating disorder, your mind is consumed with food all the time. You're eating breakfast, you're thinking about lunch and dinner. You're eating dinner, you're thinking about breakfast the next day. If you're not eating, you're definitely thinking about food. Gone. My thought around food is, in the morning, what steak am I going to take out? Set it out. Don't think about it till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Cook it. Done. No longer thinking about food. I probably think about food less than 30 minutes a day now.
That's beautiful, by the way. That is beautiful. I love her enthusiasm here. I love this for her. This is beautiful. She doesn't snore. I don't know if snoring can still happen in certain situations, because I found that if I'm positioned certain ways, I never snored. Now, when I had a nose infection, a sinus infection rather, I did snore a little bit with that at times. I don't really snore. I know I have recorded myself because I wanted to be sure I didn't snore. Okay? I know that sounds weird and people might be like, oh, that doesn't sound too, why would you say that? But because I had no one else in the room to listen to me. That's why I recorded myself. I think a good tip, record yourself to see how your sleep is. Okay? Listen to yourself back the next day. It might be a lot to listen through, but it's worth it. I barely hear myself breathe if I'm positioned right. Now, if I'm on my back, I might snore. At least that's what I've noticed. And I try to sleep on my side if I can. So, now snoring, if I'm face down, definitely I'll snore. The sinus infection I had made me snore at times. Don't have the sinus infection. I try not to sleep on my back. I'm not following the lack of response here, Mr. Goji Man. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you respond to, wow, she doesn't snore anymore? Is that possible? How?
When before, I thought about food pretty much every waking breath.
It's not the thinking about food that was the issue, it's the fact that she was eating horrifically poorly and the fact that she didn't have an off switch.
Like the vegan diet can do? That's what the vegan diet can do. Yeah.
Again, I will repeat this until I'm blue in the face.
Oh, you keep repeating it, buddy. And then, when you get that real huge hit in the gut, when everybody starts unsubscribing and unfollowing you because they hate you so much, then you'll think twice. Or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just die alone. Sorry, not looking good for you, buddy. You're not helping anything. You're not helping here. You're not doing anything to help. Now, what did he say again?
When before, I thought about food pretty much every waking breath.
It's not the thinking about food that was the issue, it's the fact that she was eating horrifically poorly.
By the way, she had no control over that. She had no control because the way the food is designed, even quote-unquote healthy foods, we are told they're healthy, but there's no nutrition in them. That's why she was thinking about food all the time. By the way, I'm really hungry right now. I need to eat. After this, I'm going to go get a huge thing of ground beef and just...
And the fact that she didn't have an off switch. Again, I will repeat this until I'm blue in the face.
She didn't have an off switch because she wasn't taking in nutrition at the time. Try again.
Let's see if these psychological problems with
And nutrition is not the vegan diet because the vegan diet does the same thing.
foods are still not present in 10 years. We heard Jordan Peterson say that his depression had been completely fixed on the carnivore diet.
I've heard that too. He's amazing. Love it. Oh, and by the way, benzodiazepines, by the way, they're dangerous anyway. He was taking that for something else. Okay? He was taking that for something else. And I don't know what happened, okay? But the carnivore diet did not make him dependent on those, okay?
And then we saw what happened after a couple of trips to rehab and benzo addiction did for him. You know that old saying, if it appears too good to be true, then it probably is.
Is he still carnivore? Is he still keto? I don't know. Don't know. What matters is he's doing better, okay? So you just shut your gob.
The whole reason I started my YouTube channel was to, one, motivate myself, but two, motivate others. Because I'm nothing special, and if I can do it, then so can other people. But sometimes we just need the encouragement and motivation, seeing someone else struggle along the way with us. That is the entire point of my channel. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't know everything for myself. How can I tell you what to do? But if you can get an inkling of encouragement or introspection into what's going on in your life, then that is all my channel is about. So I would appreciate so much if you would consider liking and subscribing to my channel, because the more people I can reach, the more people that, we can help, because I can't actually do this without you guys, and I would appreciate it so much.
It's frightening that a self-admitted food addict who has lost a bit of weight is out there canvassing for a diet where she has no comprehension what it will do to people's health.
Oh, she knows exactly what it will do because we've been eating that way for hundreds of thousands of years before agriculture. What do you think we ate before agriculture, Mr. Goji Man? Mr. Ego Man? What do you think we went, what do you think we did? What do you think we did? Did we just eat only fruits and berries 2 million years ago? Is that all we ate? 2 million years ago, not 7 million years ago. Don't go that far back, you dipstick. Don't go that far back. I hate when people go far back before we were even human. I hate that. That's not how it works. It's once we became human. That is how far back you go. Okay? That is how far back you go. When we first became human. So, what were we eating 200 plus thousand years ago before agriculture started? What were we eating? Were we only eating fruits, nuts, and seeds, and roots, and tubers, and was that all we were eating? Beans? No. No! You piece of crap.
Over the longer term.
Here's how I stop with carnivore. I finally realized the reason I failed at every other diet. Diets are only half the equation. Food is only half the equation. The other half is the mental aspect. How and why we got where we got. We don't just eat food just to eat food. There's always something behind it, a traumatic event, an emotional reason, something back there that's causing us to eat it. And that's why I failed every time. I never addressed why. Why or how I got to 360 pounds. And that is the number one reason I have been so successful in this. I have faced my demons. I've shined light in those dark places inside myself and had to face some really hard truths about life, about myself. It's scary. It is extremely difficult. But when we do that, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like having literally 1,000 pounds lifted off our shoulders when we start confronting our fears.
If she is restricting most food groups and she is forcing herself to eat only one meal.
Food groups? Food groups. It's 2023. Did we go by food groups 250 plus thousand years ago? We're still old, by the way. Our DNA is still very old. We're not that much different from the humans before us. We're not really that much different. We might look different, feel different, act different, but we're still human. Did we go by food groups?
A day, how realistically has she tackled those demons? We are from a line of great apes, so chimps, gorillas, bonobos, etc., and the feeding habits of great apes can vary based on factors such as food availability and environmental conditions.
Exactly, but they also have a different stomach than we do, so you can't compare us to them.
In the wild, great apes generally do not have a set schedule for feeding and may eat throughout the day as they come across food sources.
Yeah, and we're not the same as a chimpanzee, bonobo, gorilla, or orangutan. So your point is moot.
They may also spend several hours foraging for food, which can involve searching for and processing different types of food items.
They have a hindgut. They can do that. We can't.
Research has shown that chimpanzees, for example, may eat up to 80 different types of food items in a day and spend 6 to 8 hours foraging.
No, why? Because they have the gut to do it.
If you are having to restrict your food to such an extent and be that extreme with your dietary patterns compared to our ancestry, then please don't try and kid yourself that you have found a magic bullet.
We are humans. We are different than most other great apes. We are very, very different. Very different. We have the intelligence we have because we started eating frickin' meat, ego man.
The second thing is recognizing what true hunger is. I had learned over the years that I thought hunger was here. My brain said I was hungry, time to go eat. But I finally learned, no, hunger is in the stomach.
I had that, okay? I did have that. But guess what? I only ate a little bit, and then when I realized, like, maybe I'm not hungry. Because my stomach is very sensitive to that kind of stuff. Plus, I was malnourished at the time, so I think I still had enough. I was malnourished enough that my brain was like, nope, let's not eat anymore. But my stomach's too full.
Anytime my head says it's hungry, it's always a craving. It is not my body actually needing food. It took me months to hone in on this, but once I did, I realized I was eating way too much and way too frequently for what my body actually needed. The third one is because my trigger foods are gone, sugar and carbs. It allowed me to deal with the emotional part of eating.
Carbs!
I didn't eat to live, I lived to eat. Food.
Exactly. We should not be living to eat. Food should not be a central part of everything all the time, right? The reason that we feast, originally it was because we would struggle to find food in nature. When we lived out in the wild, we struggled. Okay? So when we finally got an animal, we were like, oh my goodness, woo, they brought something back, they found something, woohoo, let's gorge ourselves on it, man, let's go crazy. And then when the summer hits, they're like, oh, look at the lovely fruits, and then they eat to gain some fat for the winter. Because they know they're going to struggle to find food again during the winter months. So, yeah, so it's a different situation. Now, we are made to eat just to eat. And now we're being told, oh, if you're diabetic, don't eat more than 2 hours after each meal because blah, 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 blah. Your blood sugar's going down. It's dangerous. If you're type 1, maybe. And if you're type 2, taking a whole bunch of crap medication that exaggerate your insulin response.
Food is sustenance. It is not a pleasure. It's not a feeling. Not that you can't enjoy what you're eating, but life shouldn't be about going to a restaurant. Life should be about being with people, not food.
Exactly. By the way, eat an egg. Eat 5 eggs, Goji man, baloney man, ego man. Ego man. Eat some eggs. Eggs.
And that's what I made my life about and around was purely food.
It would be quite a sad state of affairs if it got to a stage where you're only eating because you had to and the calories and nutrients those foods are providing.
What? That doesn't even make any sense. What?
Affairs if it got to a stage where you're only eating because you had to and the calories and nutrients those foods are providing.
We eat because we have to. We do eat because we have to. We don't eat because, oh, we should enjoy everything. We should eat because we love it. We shouldn't eat because... This is why we have the fat acceptance movement, dipstick.
I was able to slowly step back and learn and have these conversations with myself to not do that anymore. And here is the biggest one. Forgiving myself and genuinely forgiving and giving myself grace. I have slipped up on the carnivore. I have not been perfect on my diet, but I looked at why it happened and the root reason behind it. This allowed me to truly forgive myself and not beat myself up and then throw myself off the path in a binge because, well, I saw myself as worthless.
So on the one hand, she's saying she's fixed all of her demons, which is why she's stuck to the diet. And then on the other hand, she is saying she's still in a pattern of binge eating.
She's not in a pattern of binge eating, dipstick.
Grace is a huge part of this. This is not an excuse to go and eat whatever I want and say, oh, I forgive myself. No, it's when I do have those slip-ups. It's okay, Amanda. It's one slip-up. It does not erase everything else that you've done. So, could you benefit from carnivore? Probably, but I'm not a doctor. I've tried things from organic veganism to eating only boiled white potatoes, keto, Whole30, Atkins, Weight Watchers, everything in between.
Yep.
None of those diets isolated and had me eliminate the foods that triggered me. It asked me to moderate.
But you have said you have binged while on carnivore.
She didn't say that. Where is your... You don't have any brain left, ego man. You don't even have a brain. You don't even have a brain to remember what she said. You don't have a brain. She didn't say that.
But again,
veganism kills the brain. Look into it.
you don't get 360 pounds being able to moderate what you're eating. This is where we've been deceived. We've been told calories in and calories out is the only thing that mattered. Seed oils are good for us.
Exactly, that is what we're told.
Fats are bad for us.
It's funny because they say seed oils are good for us, but they're fat. They're fats. They're not the right types of fats, but they're fats. They are.
That we only need to moderate our food to lose weight. But if any of this was true, why are people fatter and sicker today than they have ever been?
Wonderful question. It's because of carbs. I know you know that now.
I don't recall any credible health professional saying
Oh, and it's the seed oils too. Shut up, ego man.
that seed oils are good for you and that healthy fats are bad for you.
We've definitely been lied to. If you're interested in doing this, come check out my channel. I have
Actually, you say that butter's bad, ego man, so, sorry, but, that is a healthy fat.
videos from 2 weeks from starting carnivore. So right at 360 pounds, and I've tracked everything, not just what I've eaten, but my emotional state, my ups, my downs. I lay it all out. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to this, and I hope to talk to you soon.
See, the good thing about having a record like this is that you can't hide from the eventual reality.
Shut up! What do you know?
I fear that her food addictions are still at play, and while she may be losing a bit of weight now, let's measure her true success over decades.
Why don't you shut that freak up and just go live your life? Stop talking about other people.
And not weeks. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video, and if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this one up here because I'm sure you'll find it equally interesting. And the only other thing that's left me to say is to remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live.
Yeah, and you're destroying it. You're destroying your brain. You don't even remember what she said about how she's only eating 1 meal a day. That's not the same as a binge. A binge is you're eating hours and 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 hours a day. 1 meal a day means maybe for like an hour you spend eating. A binge is hours. You get up and you had a bag of chips and you're still hungry. You get up and then you eat a chocolate bar. You're still hungry. So you get up and you go make yourself a sandwich. You eat that and you're still hungry because it's peanut butter sandwich and jam. And then you go and make a cheese wrap. The wrap has carbs, right? The bread. So you eat that and then you're still hungry. That's a binge. That's what a binge turns into. That's what a binge is. Whereas if you eat just a certain size of steak, that's different from a binge because eventually you'll get full. You get full. You're not eating for hours and hours and hours. Binge eating is caused when you're thinking about food all the freaking time. Every day, 24/7, each and every waking hour. You are thinking about food. All your emotions are like just going nuts and you don't want to think about anything else but, dude, I really could go for some ice cream right now. And then you go and get some high sugar ice cream. And then you're like, Dude, I could go for a peanut butter cookie, and then one peanut butter cookie turns into like 20, and then you could make yourself sick easy because you don't realize you're full. That's what binging is. You know when you're full when you eat meat. You know when you're full. It's rare to find someone who doesn't. So, I hope you liked my take on this. This ego man here is a dipstick and a horrible excuse for a nutritionist, and I hope he gets his karma very, very soon. I feel like he's already starting to get it. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video. And it might be my little project that you see next. Who knows? I know my uploads are quite sporadic rather anyways, but I mean, I might be uploading a bit less in the next few weeks, but who knows? I have to make sure that my project is perfect. I don't want any mistakes. So, like I said, might still upload videos, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, guys? See you in the next one. Bye!